Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ride and Seek campaign webinar. My name is Sonia. I'm a Senior Program Specialist at Smart Commute Markham Richmond Hill, and I'm co-hosting today with Smart Commute Central York and Smart Commute North Toronto Vaughan. In this 30-minute webinar, we'll tell you about our new and exciting cycling campaign taking place in York Region this month, and we'll give you some helpful tips to ride and seek several pre-selected landmarks, which gives you more chances to win great prizes. If you have questions, please enter them in the questions box on the right throughout the webinar, and we'll respond to them at the end. Also, if you're experiencing any technical issues, please enter them in the question box as well, and we'll respond to you privately. This webinar is being recorded, so we'll circulate this after on our social media accounts and on the campaign webpage. First, I'll provide some background about Smart Commute. Smart Commute is a program of the municipalities in the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area. As a workplace and community-based program, it is supported by York Region in partnership with the City of Markham, City of Richmond Hill, City of Vaughan, Town of East Gwillimbury, and Town of Newmarket. The Smart Commute program helps and supports residents, employers, and their employees travel from point A to B by exploring and encouraging transportation options such as walking, cycling, transit, carpooling, and teleworking. The Smart Commute program has shown great success throughout the GTHA, where employees from Smart Commute workplaces drive alone nearly 19% less than the average commuter. Here are some examples of the services and programs we offer to our workplaces in the community, such as carpool ride matching programs, discounted transit pass programs, telework programs, walking and cycling programs, engaging events and challenges, as we'll tell you about today, workplace travel surveys and reporting, and we offer one-on-one personalized route planning. Next, I'll give you a brief update on Bike Month. Normally, this campaign is held in June and involves challenges, group rides, webinars, and events. But this year, we're holding it in September for the first time. We invite you to visit bikemonth.ca to find physically distanced group rides and events and webinars this month throughout the GTHA. And finally, we'll tell you about the Ride and Seek campaign. Starting today, we invite you to pledge to join our Ride and Seek campaign, where you can explore the region in a new and exciting way. Between now and October 9th, take part in the Ride and Seek scavenger hunt for a chance to win one of 6 $50 e-gift cards or one grand prize $150 e-gift card, courtesy of York Region. You can pledge to join by visiting york.ca/ride-and-seek, and we'll send you a list of pre-selected landmarks in each municipality. Cycle to as many landmarks as possible and share photos of your bike at these landmarks. Instructions on how to submit your photos and contest details are also found at york.ca/ride-and-seek. Each photo submission equals 1 entry into the contest, and for every 5 photos you submit, you get a bonus entry. We'll put this link up at the end of the webinar so you can pledge to join today. In the webinar, you'll see a preview of some of these landmarks, suggested routes and tips on how to access them by bike, and we'll add some interesting facts. We've included a wide variety of historic sites, transit infrastructure, natural features, and local businesses and amenities. So I'm now going to turn it over to Jen from Smart Commute Central York to start with Georgina Landmarks.
Newmarket has really embraced cycling, and as they continue to install new bike lanes, connectivity for cyclists is getting better all the time. New raised and separated bike lanes recently opened along Yonge Street from Mulock Drive to Davis Drive. The Yonge Street lanes connect to the east-west bikeway. A good idea would be to start your ride at the Ray Twinney Recreation Center, which you can see at the bottom left of the slide and is very close to the start of the east-west cycling route, which is at Eagle Street and Millard Avenue. Using the east-west route, you can easily access many of our Newmarket landmarks, including Haskett Park, the Newmarket Public Library, Old Town Hall Bike Sports, which is a local bike shop on Main Street, Riverwalk Commons, and Ferry Lake. You can keep traveling east along this route all the way to Harry Walker Parkway. Harry Walker Parkway also has bike lanes, and if you travel north and turn left on Stellar Lane, you can visit our other great Newmarket bike shop, Spoke Emotion. The east-west route also connects you to the very popular Tom Taylor Trail, and if you hop on the trail at Timothy Street, which is right beside Riverwalk Commons, and head north, you can cycle right by two of our other landmarks, the Newmarket Chamber of Commerce, which is located in the old train station on the south side of Davis Drive, and the Newmarket GO station right across the street. Many other areas in Newmarket that have bike lanes include the London Road bicycle route that links to the bike lanes on Bonshaw Avenue. And there are also bike lanes running along Main Street North and connect to the lanes on 2nd Concession in East Gwillimbury. If you're cycling in Newmarket and need a minor do-it-yourself bike repair, or you just need to put some air in your tires, Newmarket has 2 bike repair stations located along the east-west cycling route and have been included as landmark destinations in this challenge. The first is at Riverwalk Commons on Duncan Drive, and the second is at Haskett Park, just off Millard. In the town of Aurora, you'll find a few of our landmark destinations along the Nokita Trail, also known as the Tim Jones Trail, which is actually a continuation of the Tom Taylor Trail in Newmarket. If you start at the north part of the trail and head south, you can make your way through the Mackenzie Marsh, pass through the Aurora Community Arboretum, and Lambert Wilson Park. The trail also runs behind the Aurora Family Leisure Complex, which is one of our landmarks for the Ride and Seek campaign as well. And you can see it just to the left of this slide. The trail also links up with the Oak Ridges Marine Trail and Shepherd's Bush Conservation Area. If you hop off the trail at Wellington and head west, you can cycle by a few other landmarks, the Aurora GO Station, and then if you head southeast, you can visit the Aurora Cultural Center and make your way to the Aurora Public Library and Hillary House. There are so many beautiful trails and parks in King Township, as well as recreation and cultural facilities, including 3 arenas, Centennial Mountain Biking Park, and Cold Creek Conservation Area, which are 2 of 7 landmarks in our campaign. If you're into mountain biking, we highly recommend visiting Centennial Park, located along Jane Street, just north of Kings Side Road, and hosts a series of mountain biking trails which are marked for beginner, intermediate, and more advanced cyclists. Travel southbound along Jane Street and you will find the King Trail at Seneca College, which has been named one of the best kept secrets in Ontario and hosts part of the Oak Ridges Marine Trail. Head a little farther south in King and you will find the Davis Park Trail in Nobleton, which has a complete trail loop, and it has 3 access points at McTaggart, Sheardown, and Dobson Court. Other destination landmarks we've identified around King Township are Schomburg Ozen Lions Park, King Township Museum, and King City Memorial Park. There are many trails located throughout the community of Whitchurch-Stouffville, both local and regional. The town is actually in the process of developing an extensive trail system, many of which will connect to the larger forested areas in York Region. Stouffville has a charming Main Street corridor, well worth exploring, and you'll find 2 of our landmark destinations, Stouffville GO Station and the Lebovic Center for Arts and Entertainment, 19 on the park. Our other Stouffville destinations to the west of the map include Bruce Mill Conservation Park, which hosts treetop trekking and other activities, the Whitchurch-Stouffville Museum and Community Center, and Whitchurch-Stouffville Conservation Area. To the north, you will find the Timber Creek Golf and Family Fun Center and the Richmond Hill Live Steamers Club, which is, interestingly enough, a club dedicated to building and operating scale model steam and electric and diesel locomotives. I will now pass it on to Calvin, who will talk about the Markham Landmarks.
Thanks, Jen. For the city of Markham, we're starting off our first landmark at the Markham Civic Center. On your screen, this is the photo on the top left side. The Civic Center is physically located on the northwest corner of Highway 7 and Warden Avenue. From the Civic Center, you can use the trail along the grass to connect to Highway 7. And when you reach the intersection, you can use the green bike boxes to safely cross and continue cycling east on Highway 7 to towards the next landmark. This is a two-stage crossing that my colleague Saya will explain more about later. And as you're traveling east along Highway 7, you'll notice the green bike lane transitions into the second landmark, which is the Highway 7 in Boulevard bike lane. On your screen, this is the photo on the top middle row, and the in Boulevard bike lane is a next-generation cycling infrastructure, which provides a dedicated lane for cyclists separate from the sidewalk, and you'll be safe from cars on the road. When you arrive at Birchmount Road along Highway 7, make a right turn and travel south where you'll soon find our third landmark, the Birchmount Road raised bike lanes. On your screen, this is the photo on the bottom middle row, and these bike lanes are set at an intermediate level along the roadway to separate cars on the road, the bike lane, on-street parking, and the pedestrian sidewalk. Continuing south along Birchmount Road, the raised bike lanes transition into a regular bike lane on the road, and you'll soon reach our fourth landmark, which is the Pride of Canada Carousel. On your screen, this is the photo on the bottom left side, and it's physically located along the northwest corner of Birchmount Road and Enterprise Boulevard. This carousel is a signature piece of public art found in the heart of downtown Markham, and features 44 colorful sculpted Canadian characters to admire and ride on. Next, we'll make a left turn at the intersection and continue east. When you see Rivis Road, make a right turn and continue south towards YMCA Boulevard and make another right turn towards the fifth landmark, which is the Unionville GO Station. On your screen, this is the photo on the bottom right side. And we'll be seeing big changes at Unionville GO Station next year, with one of them being the addition of a bike storage room for cyclists on the go to take advantage of. From the GO Station, we'll travel back up to Rivis Road, where we came from, using the bike lane, and this time we'll make a right turn at Enterprise Boulevard. There's also a bike lane along the stretch, and we'll soon reach our sixth landmark, which is the Markham Pan Am Center. This is the last photo found on the top right side of your screen. The Pan Am Center was specifically constructed for the 2015 Pan American and Para-Pan American Games. This is a multi-purpose sport facility built to world-class centers, which includes an Olympic-sized swimming pool and multiple gymnasiums perfect for sport competitions. At this point, from the Markham Civic Center to the Markham Pan Am Center, we've been cycling for around 5 kilometers or 17 minutes. And although not covered in this presentation, we have 3 more landmarks located along Main Street, Unionville for to explore. You'll find instructions to seek these landmarks out in the instruction document that we'll be sending to participants by request. And now I'll pass it over to Sonia to go over the Richmond Hill landmarks.
Thanks, Calvin. So if you head west from Markham, we reach our Richmond Hill landmarks, some of which have recently been completed as early as this spring and summer. I'll show you how you can reach 6 particular landmarks in 35 to 40 minutes for a total of 9.5 kilometers. This is a great workout, and you'll also see many new additions to the city's cycling network. The first landmark is the Lake to Lake cycling route and walking trail, located second from the right on your screen. In Richmond Hill, the shared pathway is complete along the Oak Ridges Corridor Conservation Reserve, on Bayview Avenue from Stouffville Road to 19th Avenue, and on Leslie from just north of Elgin Mills to Highway 7. Let's start at Leslie and 16th and head south. On this route, you'll cycle on the path for 600 meters, but you'll be totally separated from traffic, as you can see in the photo. Note that north of 16th Avenue, there's a bike path and a sidewalk, but south of 16th, there's only one pathway, so you have to be mindful of other road users and moderate your speed. You'll turn right on West Beaver Creek, which is a shared road. Remember that you can take the entire lane or stay 1 meter from the curb before entering a multi-use path. The entrance is beside a company called Cool, K-E-W-L, so if you see this, you know you're on the right path, through Beaver Woodland. Where the path splits in two, keep to the left, which takes you to the second landmark, the David Hamilton Park. The park has recently been renovated to include a playground, workout equipment, table tennis, and basketball courts, so we recommend that you check it out. You can then continue cycling through the park to Ballymead Road, south to Highway 7 on a bike lane, where you'll see our third landmark, the left turn bike box. And if you look on the screen, it's on the bottom right corner. Calvin briefly referred to this in his presentation, so if you cycle the Markham portion, you'll be familiar with it. This is a 2-stage left turn that allows cyclists to safely cross multi-lane signalized intersections from a right turn lane. If you'd like to try it, position yourself in the box in the direction of the arrow as seen in the photo, and then proceed through Highway 7 when the light is green. More information about using the bike boxes is at york.ca/cycling. After you take your photo, you can return north on Ballymene Road and turn left on Briggs Avenue. Keep cycling on this road, which becomes Bantry Avenue west of Bayview. Here we find our fourth landmark, the Bantry Avenue bike lane that extends to Yonge Street. The advantage of this bike lane is that it's very spacious for most of the way and is flat, but there is a large hill over the Richmond Hill GO train line as you approach Yonge Street. If you stop here at the top of the hill on the sidewalk, there are great views of the downtown core looking south, and it's a good place to take a photo of your bike. At Yonge Street, turn left and travel south in the new bike lanes, which are part of the Viva Next project. Please be mindful of construction as crews continue to pave the center lane for the bus rapid transit rapidway. At Garden Avenue, turn left on the fifth landmark, which is the Young Highway 7 multi-use path. And on your screen, it's in the bottom left corner, to Richmond Hill Center Terminal. Again, please be mindful of street improvements at this intersection. This is a new multi-use path that extends to Bathurst Street along Highway 7 in the west, and links Richmond Hill Center Terminal to Bathurst Highway 7 Viva Station. Finally, you'll reach our sixth landmark, which is the bike repair station at Richmond Hill Center Terminal. It's located on the grassy area opposite from the terminal. Hopefully your bike will still be in good condition after your 9.5-kilometer ride, but if you need to pump some air in your tires or tighten any bolts, you can use the bike pump or tools located at the station. And that concludes your ride. You visited 6 more landmarks in Richmond Hill and cycled on multi-use paths, shared pathways, bike lanes, shared roads, and trails for 87% of this route. If you want to seek and photograph the remaining 3 Richmond Hill landmarks, you'll find instructions on how to do so in the resource package that we'll send to participants by request. And now let's travel even further west to Vaughan.
Thank you, Sonia. We have 21 locations you can visit in Vaughan, including parks, historical buildings, and some of the latest public infrastructure in the GTHA. I'm going to take you through 10 of these landmarks, starting in the north of Vaughan, with the Nashville Conservation Reserve in the west. This reserve is over 900 hectares and is an important migratory corridor. Going further south is the William Granger Greenway, which is highlighted in purple on the map. It's an exciting and scenic trail in its own right, but it also connects you with many other landmarks in this ride and seek campaign. The Greenway starts in the south at Boyd Conservation Area. Heading north, the Greenway passes by the McMichael Canadian Art Collection and its grounds. Their collection of Canadian artwork includes pieces by First Nations, the Group of 7, and contemporary artists. Within the McMichael's ground are the Inuit Shuk, which was relocated from the Northwest Territories in 1987, and the Tom Thompson Shack, where the famous Group of 7 artists lived for 2 years and painted 2 of his most celebrated works. Finally, the Greenway finishes off in Kleinburg. This historic village with its pretty buildings is a great place to take a pause on a ride. In the north here towards the east, we also have the Maple Nature Reserve. This is home to more than 300 species of plants and animals, including the northern red-bellied snake. You can also access the Mackenzie Glen District Park on the east as well, using the Bartley Smith Greenway to access it. In the south of Vaughan, you can find the Boyd Conservation Area at the end of the William Granger Greenway. Here, you will spend some time in nature alongside the headwaters of the Don and Humber rivers. Along Highway 7, highlighted in purple on the map, are new cycle routes. That includes bicycle lanes and a multi-use path that is located in the center of Highway 7 as it passes over Highway 400. This gives a safe space for pedestrians and cyclists to bypass the busy ramps between Highway 7 and 400. At the west end of the cycle lanes, you will find the Woodbridge Farmers Market. It's open every Saturday up until Thanksgiving, and it's a great place for you to pick up some produce from local farmers. In the center is also some of the latest public infrastructure in the GTHA. That includes the Vaughan Metropolitan Subway Station, the Smart VMC bus terminal, and finally the Viva Orange Rapid Way along Highway 7. All these complete the transit hub at this location and are a centerpiece for the growing Vaughan Metropolitan Center. You can use this route to access the Langstaff Eco Park towards the east. Here you might catch a sight of coyotes, foxes, beavers, mink, snake turtles, or frogs. The beautiful Kefir Marsh is also well worth a visit in the park. Finally, there are 3 historic homes you can visit during this Ride and Seek campaign, one of which is the McDonald House, which was home to the group of 7 artists, J.E.H. McDonald, and later his son, who was also a notable artist. McDonald Sr. here painted his famous The Tangled Garden, which now hangs in the National Gallery in Ottawa. And now this concludes our landmarks in Vaughan. And I'm just going to hand it over to Jen to talk about the Georgina Landmarks.
Thank you, TT. Sorry about the technical difficulties. The town of Georgina marks the start of the Lake to Lake cycling route, which is a 121-kilometer recreational and commuter trail that connects Lake Simcoe to Lake Ontario and includes destinations like transit hubs, beaches, community centers, and parks. This portion of the Ride and Seek route in Georgina takes you right along the lakefront and is very scenic. I've actually done this route before, and you can easily start at the North Gwillimbury Park, located on the far left of this slide, ride to the Rock, and the Georgina Pioneer Village and Archives, which is right next door. From there, you can continue biking along the lake, visiting De La Salle Park, and ending at Civil Point Conservation Area. The majority of the trails located in the town of Georgina are multi-use, which are suitable for walking, hiking, jogging, and cycling. And trail terrain ranges from compact gravel surfaces to asphalt sections through local neighborhoods and community parks. There are also dedicated bike lanes located along a portion of Woodbine Avenue in Keswick. The town of East Gwillimbury hosts the beautiful Nokita Trail, and if you cycle along this route, you can access a few of our landmarks for the East Gwillimbury scavenger hunt. We recommend starting at Rogers Reservoir Conservation Area, located at the bottom of this slide. You can access the area 2 ways. The first way is via the bike lanes located on 2nd Concession Road that run between Green Lane and Doan Road, or there is a parking lot on the north side of Green Lane east of 2nd Concession, and you can hop on the trail there and head north from that parking lot. This is a beautiful area and definitely worth spending some time exploring and snapping a few photos. You can cycle north on the trail to Holland Landing, where you can exit the trail at Holland River Boulevard to continue your way to our next 2 destinations, the Holland Landing Community Center, which also includes a library, skate park, and splash pad area. And then a little bit further north, you'll find Anchor Park. This park gets its name from the giant anchor on display here, which was abandoned on its journey to Lake Simcoe when the War of 1812 ended. Our other 3 landmarks are located towards the southeast of East Gwillimbury. The town has recently installed new bike lanes on Murrell Drive, running from Mount Albert Road, heading south to Green Lane. Along this route, you can visit Murrell Park, and then head east onto Temple Avenue to find the town of East Gwillimbury Civic Center, which is currently home to this year's Farmers Market, and the Sharon Temple, which is also located right next door.
So before you go on your ride, please remember to visit york.ca/cycling for more information on cycling safety laws, bicycle and helmet safety, bike maintenance, regional cycling maps, and you can also get more resources from York Region. And we have come to the end of our presentation. Please pledge to join the campaign at www.york.ca/ride-and-seek. And if you have any questions, you can please put your questions in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen.
So looking through some of the questions, we actually received one from Claire. And just to clarify, she said, looking at the link that was sent to submit photos, what landmarks are headings 1, 2, and 3? The landmark list starts at number 4. Claire, I believe you're referring to the submission link that we sent out. It appears that Aurora is at number 4. That's just because the way the questions were ordered. So question 1 was your name, 2 was your email, and 3 was the pledge. And then the landmark list actually starts at number 4, Aurora, so you aren't missing any. All the landmarks are located on the second page.
I also see a question, Sonia, about is there anything more that can be done to encourage cycling on the Yonge Street bike lanes? So I've actually spoken to someone about this, and so I think we're actually going to do an informal video about the lanes on Yonge Street. We can also send out some social media information and some information in our newsletter so that we can encourage proper cycling. I know a lot of times you see people cycling on the actual sidewalk and not in the bike lane. So we're going to be doing some promotion around that. And I think we have a question. I think this is from Anthony. I submitted some pictures yesterday, but I didn't receive any confirmation. So when you submit, is there a confirmation, Calvin, that they are supposed to receive?
No, there isn't a confirmation, but we have received your submission and we are reviewing all the photos. Every submission, like we are checking daily, so don't worry, we are receiving your photos, your submissions, and you should receive like at least like a thank you message saying that like the winners would be announced sometime in October.
For the question about what section of Woodbine has bike lanes or paved shoulder, it looks like Jen is looking at the map now, but if you also go onto york.ca/cycling, there's an interactive cycling map that you can zoom in and out of, and you can actually click on the infrastructure and it'll tell you what type it is, and it's color coded, so you'll be able to locate which part of Woodbine has a paved shoulder. Actually, I can't bring it up right now. Well, maybe I can, but if you go york.ca/cycling, and there's quite a few maps there. You can see the PDF of their cycling map, or you can use the interactive map.
Yeah, so this map hasn't been updated. I know that York Region is in the process of updating this map. So right now it just says it just shared bikeway. So I'm not exactly 100% sure how much of it is dedicated cycling lanes. But like Sonia said, you can visit york.ca, or you can email me at jennifer@sccy.ca.
Melissa also asked, is there a way to send us this presentation? Yes, we can send that to you. And we'll also put it on our social media, and we can put it on the york.ca/ride and seek page as well. Claire has asked, does Smart Commute have a map of bike racks? We don't have a map of bike racks, but if you're looking in a particular municipality, I would suggest that you contact that municipality and ask them where they're located. Because there are quite a few. There are 9 municipalities in York Region, so that would be quite a big, extensive list. But if you know exactly where you were looking for them, then I'd recommend that you contact maybe the transportation department at that municipality. See if they have any resources such as a list or maps.
And also, as part of the campaign, we're asking people to send us, if you see a place that doesn't have bike racks where you would like to see some, either post it on social media and tag us in it, or you can drop us an email as well and let us know, and we will pass that information along. Oh, the email we should use for if you're contacting, it depends on what area you're contacting, but you can send an email to info@sccy.ca. and we'll make sure it gets to the appropriate person.
Okay, while we're waiting for questions, we just wanted to say thank you as well to everybody who has already submitted the photos. It's been really nice to see the photos that people are taking. Just a great tip that we actually found out is that if you take a photo in front of, say, a sign at a park or at one of the landmarks, it's really helpful for us to identify what landmark it is. So if you can do that, that would be really helpful for us. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. And we do, Calvin, do you have the updates on how many pledges that we received so far?
As needed. We've received 100 pledges so far, and 4 people have submitted their photos to us. So thank you so much.
Great.
I just got a question from in Vaughan in terms of bicycle parking. Most of the locations do have bicycle parking. They might be a bit further away than from the conservation area, but they do all have bicycle parking. For example, Kleinberg, you can access the bicycle parking via old firehouse hall.
And up north here in Newmarket, Aurora, East Gwillimbury, Georgina, there's actually lots of places where you can park and ride for free.
Looks like we got a nice message from Melissa. She says, way to go, Smart Commute. I love this campaign and hope it rocks. Thank you, Melissa. I hope everybody enjoys it as well.
Thank you, Melissa. I just want to say that cycling around and visiting these landmarks is a really great way to recognize that cycling around is not as difficult as you seem, and there are lots of pieces of infrastructure that you can access to be safe and access all those points.
There's a question as well from Todd. He said, is it best to submit all photos at once? It's up to you, Todd. You can submit the submission form more than once, but they can't be duplicates of the same landmarks. So if you'd like to do all your writing and then save it up until maybe 2 weeks and submit them all at once, you can do that, or you can maybe submit them every few days or every week or so.
Yeah, we're also looking at an improvement to actually send out like a thank you message for submitting the photos, so you'll receive confirmation from that. Like I'll be checking daily, and I'll be sending messages daily as they come in.
Anthony asked, how to identify the landmark on the photo? Not all landmarks have signs. For those ones, Anthony, if you can send us an email at smartcommute.mrh.ca, and then you can just let us know maybe for the photos that don't have any signs what the landmarks are. And then all the TMAs will work together. If we receive some where we can't identify it, then we can cross-reference with each other.
And we're happy to provide personalized route planning if you so desire.
Todd said he did 8 of them last night, but it got too dark to finish. That's great.
Well, it's just a good excuse to get out there again.
Just a note too, as we're getting into maybe longer evenings, so it gets dark a little earlier, just a reminder that you should have your bike light on half an hour before sunset and half an hour after sunrise. And those cycling rules are also at york.ca/cycling. And wear reflective clothing too if you can. Actually, you should wear reflective clothing too, especially if you're cycling into the late afternoon or evening so that you are visible on roads.
I want to thank everyone for coming out to the webinar today. Please remember to go to york.ca/ride-and-seek to pledge to join the campaign. If you want any more information, please look on the York Region website. You can also contact Smart Commute Richmond with Markham Richmond Hill, Smart Commute North Toronto Vaughan, and Smart Commute Central York for any more information. So I just want to say thank you once again to all our panelists from North Toronto Vaughan to Smart Commute Central York and Markham Richmond Hill. Thank you for once again everyone for coming out to the webinar today.